Well, is it just me? It looks like I'm all alone for this test session. That's interesting. I was hoping somebody would be here. Looks like it's just me. Hoping somebody would tune in, but looks like, oh, Anthony's here. Okay. All right, Anthony, good to see you there. Welcome aboard. Hey. Thanks for joining me. So this is meant to be an effort to test out the Zoom meeting. So anyway, if anybody would like to join me, and go to the info on the video below, and you will see the link and the code to get into the meeting. So let me get over here and see. It's just me on the screen right now. So Anthony, I guess it's just you and me at the moment. So anyway, oh, there's Sean. Hey, Sean. If you guys don't mind coming in, you're welcome to come in. The link is below the video, but I'll put it in the chat just the same, and so you can find the session. So let me get here. Okay, Zoom meeting. There it is. Okay. Boy, they have really long. You can never remember this URL, so you got to copy. That'd just be too much to remember. Okay, so here's the URL. Hey, Gareth. All right, there you go. That's the URL for folks wanting to join. And you have to have a code. I'll give you the code. The passcode for this meeting is copy. Coming right now. Hey, Tian. There you go. All right, so if anybody wants to give it a shot and be a guinea pig and help me out, we got folks back on. There's the link, and there's the passcode. So that's how you get into the stream. So if you want to on Zoom, and we'll see. I'm trying to make it work here. We'll see if it does work. Yeah. So okay. Whoops, that's not good. That's not what I want. Yeah, so anybody that wants to join me, gosh, sorry, this thing is not cooperating. Okay, there we go. Doing too many things at once. Okay, Sean is here, but now he's back in a second. There's a link. Why does that link look different? Oh, that's this. Oh, never mind. Oh gosh, I put the link for this. Remove. Sorry, doing too many things at once here. This is what I wanted. This link. Okay. There we go. Copy. Still just me over there in the Zoom session. So nobody wants to be courageous. Okay, there you go. That's the correct link. And there's the code 217873 for anybody who'd like to call in. Give it a shot. This is about checking out the session to make sure it actually works with Zoom. We'll see if it does work. That's the idea here. But anyway, by the way, I was just watching a June 2020 community letter from the CEO, Susan Wojcicki, who is the CEO from YouTube. And she is... she's got 100,000 subscribers, and there's a video that has 1,263,000 views. But on that 1,263,000 views, she has just 8,700 responses, thumbs up or thumbs down. And of those, 3,500 are thumbs up, and 5,200 are thumbs down. Now, what am I talking about? This is her community letter. My latest community letter to the YouTube community addresses initiatives to support the Black community, the impact of COVID-19, how YouTube is working on behalf of creators. Interesting. Every single comment here is negative that people put down. This letter is from June 15th. People have lambasted her. And the fact that with 1.3 million views, only 8,700 people have commented means to me that a lot of people are self-censoring and not participating in that, not sharing that. So that would seem to be the case. But I'll read a few of the comments to you guys since nobody's coming up on Zoom. Is it not working? Is anybody trying Zoom? Just let me know, okay? That's the purpose of this stream, just to get folks in there. So right now it's just me, and my camera's off in there because I've got the camera in here. Midnight here in bed and mobile, and my laptop is packed away, but if no one is testing with you, I can get up and get it going. Well, you shouldn't need to download the client to do it. Gareth has entered the waiting room, okay. Admit, there's Gareth. Okay, participants. Okay, he's joining now, okay. Right. Okay. There's Gareth. Okay. Let me put my earpiece in here. Make sure it doesn't. You have to connect the audio and can't hear you yet. Okay. I like that. It gives you updates. That's kind of cool. There's Gareth, and all I see is a name. Okay. I don't hear anything. Okay. Got my mic up plenty high. Hey, Gareth, your mic, you've got to do the join audio down there at the bottom if you can hear me from the stream. But Gareth is in the room with me. you've got to ask to unmute. There you go. I've asked you to unmute. Okay. There we go. Okay. Gareth, can you hear me? Okay. All right. Weird. This is why we're doing a test, ladies and gentlemen. So not to chase people away, but thank you for tuning in. You're on a test for Untitled Africa, and I'm trying to get people to call in to Zoom. And right now it says Gareth is in the room in the meeting, but I don't see Gareth's camera and I don't see Gareth's audio. Now I got 3 participants. Who are the 3rd participant there? Okay. Sean is waiting. Okay, Sean. I'll admit Sean. Okay. Okay. Sean is joining the session now. Sean's camera is off. Sean is connecting. Okay. And Gareth's mic is on, but I'm not hearing Gareth. It's weird. Is that Sean? I see Sean, but I can't hear him. It must be me. Maybe because I have to turn my camera off. Let me do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going away. I'm just shutting my camera down here so I can use it in Zoom. We'll see what happens. Okay. Hang on, folks. Be patient with me. Okay. I'm going to close that application and see what happens. Okay. So now I'm going to turn my camera on. Okay. All right. Join audio. Okay. All right. There we go. Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, now let me see if I can get you in the stream. Okay, I got to turn that off. Okay, let's try this. Okay, now, yeah, I've got a window on the screen, but it doesn't have the camera stuff. Now, why is that? That's weird. Anybody here happen to be a Zoom expert? I see Gareth on camera now, and I see Sean on camera, and I hear both their microphones, but on my stream, I'm not seeing it show up. That's weird.
Is the audio coming through, Chris?
What's that?
Is the audio coming through then?
Yeah, I can hear the audio now, but it was shut down because my Logitech was using the camera, and people now are seeing the screen, but I'm not seeing. Let me try to add a Windows capture for something else here. Maybe it'll come in better now. Just give me a second here. I did this before we started the session. Okay. Thank you guys for calling in and trying to help me make it work.
Sure.
Let's see. Zoom. No, that's not the right window. I got a thing that says Zoom, but it's not Zoom meeting. No, the Zoom meeting is not showing up properly when I bring it in. This is really strange. I don't understand that. So I can see you guys, but I can't get you in the meeting. And on the screen, what I have is, I don't know if you can see the screen. Can you guys see the screen now? Not yourselves, but just on the stream, it's just a white screen and it's Zoom, and it shows who's in the meeting, but it doesn't show your camera on. I don't get that. That's really weird. Anyway, this is why I'm doing a test. Now I got 4 participants. Keith is waiting. Let me get Keith in here. Right. Okay. So, all right. Sean says we can hear Sean. Okay. Gareth need video. Yeah, I got video from Gareth now. I've got Keith coming in right now, but nobody's seeing this on the stream. So that's weird. All right. I'm just going to delete this thing and then just try to add everybody in here real quick again. Okay, sometimes, Streamlabs can be a little tetchy, but what I'm doing is, let me try display capture. That might do the trick. See what happens there. Okay, 2. Okay, that's not the one I want. That's not the one I want. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, delete. I don't know if that. That'll beg your mind there. I'll get you going. Browser source. It's not a browser, but I'll try browser source, but it shouldn't work. Okay, Streamlabs. No, that's not working. Okay, well, this is not working. And the one person we actually need here that could really help us would be Yanni. Yanni's not here at the moment. Let me try NDI capture. I don't think it's NDI capture.
Chris, I think you just need a child.
Just need a what?
A child.
Yeah, I need a 9-year-old, and then it'll be solved, right? That'll take care of the problem. Thanks, everybody, for being patient. I'm going to try this window capture again. Or maybe video capture device. Let me try that. No. Let's see what happens there. Add a source. Logitech capture. Spark. No. Spark virtual camera. Nope. Not working. That's not it. Okay. I'm just running through all the possible options I can get here and I understand why it's coming in. So I got to figure this out, guys, because on Saturday I've got the general coming on. We can't be having that. Having this nonsense. So it should be a window capture. And when I tell it to capture that window, it lists the Zoom meeting and it lists Zoom executable. And Neither one of them gives me the actual meeting. I don't know why that is. Zoom meeting. So that one there should be it on the screen now. I see the 4 people who are in the meeting. Sean's mic is turned off, as is Canada. There's Keith. Hey, Keith, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Excellent, brilliant. For some reason, it's not showing up on the screen, guys. I don't know what that is, and I'll have to consult with Yanni after this. Don't know what the deal is, but yeah, that's not so great. Let me see. Do I have to record? Maybe that's it. Shouldn't have to record. No.
Chris, what's that drop-down arrow next to share screen?
What's that?
There's a little arrow next to share screen.
Where's it at?
Little white uptick.
Share screen. I don't see that.
Move your mouse down a little bit to the left.
Okay. Stop video. I don't see share screen. I see mute.
Right in the middle of the screen at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, to the right of it. Yeah, just to the right of that, there's an arrow.
Okay, let me stop the recording first. Okay, share screen. Multiple participants share simultaneously. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, but it's not showing the screen. I mean, it's screen 2, that's it. Okay. Is that it?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Look at my mouth all over the place now. Yeah.
Right, we've got now. Looking good.
Yeah, but what are we seeing now? I'm not seeing it on here. It's just giving me my mouse patterns are fading all over the place. It didn't solve the problem over there. I can see you guys on the side here. That is weird. I think so. What are you guys seeing? If it goes in the conversation with me, what are you seeing on Zoom? Are you seeing my stream screen, or are you seeing the other screen?
Saying South Africa's surge of virus cases.
Yeah, okay, that's not what's in the stream. That's off. That's just showing the screen that I actually have this on. So yeah, okay, let me stop the screen sharing because yeah, that's a feature I think that just lets you see if it can be in a presentation or something like that. So gallery view. Okay, there we go. Gallery view. Let me try that. That didn't change anything. It's weird because it's showing up as a change over here, and you would think that these pictures would be showing up on the other screen. Let me delete it one more time and try to bring it as a capture because I've got all 4 of you on the screen now. Can you see me that now? You saw all 4 of us on the screen simultaneously?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and it's also switching between identifying who's the active audio at the moment, so that's working. It's just not coming into the Streamlabs correctly, and I don't know why because I'm using window capture, and we go. Let's call it 333. Add. Going to go over to the Zoom meeting and Zoom. That's not it. Zoom. Nope. Okay. Yeah, it's guys. I don't know what the deal is here, so it's not working. Sean says, does it allow live streaming meetings and settings? Yeah, it should. But which settings? I don't want to keep people here all night trying to figure it out. But okay, so Zoom works. I'm having a conversation. Actually, move this to the other screen because for me personally, I can't see Praveen's. Okay, so now I've got Sean, Gareth, Keith, and myself all in a meeting, all 4 of us at once. That's working, and you guys can hear me, correct? Thumbs up or yes?
Super.
Okay, and you can see the video just fine of all 4 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my limit because I'm on a phone.
All right, so Zoom is working. It's just not coming into Streamlabs, and that's where I got to figure it out. So anyway, hey, thanks guys so much for playing around with me tonight here on Let's Figure Out Zoom on the Streamlabs, and thanks for following the streams and the chats and everything. I really appreciate it. Hey, so since I got you guys in, nobody can see you, but they can hear you. Any thoughts? Do you guys like the content? Do you like the stray voltage, the prepared videos? Anybody want to jump in there?
Sure, definitely. Yeah, I really enjoy your content. It's very, very enlightening. Interesting too. I like getting someone else's perspective.
Oh, that's cool. I appreciate that.
Better than Ronaldo.
What's that?
It's better than Ronaldo.
Who said that? I didn't look. Go back and said that. Was that Gareth or Keith?
Yeah.
It's Gareth. Okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah. Ronaldo on his stream today, I guess he seemed pretty skeptical of the Cape Secession movement. And then somebody said that he sort of came around to it. But I left before the stream was over, so I didn't get that impression. I don't know if anybody stuck with him throughout and see if he had, but he seemed very skeptical of Phil. People are giving me advice on how to bring the stream in here. So if somebody wants to jump in and chat there for a second, I'll try to find this.
Yeah, I've been finding it quite good because you're able to pick up the chat stream
even though it's gone on maybe 5 minutes before you get there. So that's quite good.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm looking for the live stream function here. Okay, I must be something I'm missing. Anyway, well, yeah. No, be more like Mark Dice. Christian is back. Welcome back, Christian. Appreciate you coming back to troll us. Oh, so let me get some thoughts on this. If you guys don't mind being on the record, you don't have to respond if you don't want to, but thoughts on the way that I deal with folks who are being contrarian. Do I treat them fairly in the stream, or am I too harsh?
I think you treat them fairly
Generally
well.
okay, I think. You give them more than one chance to say what they want to say, which is good. You know, if you don't pull out what is on people's mind, what they feel about things, then we're not getting to the sensitive assertiveness that we need.
Fair point. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Someone was telling me to change my settings in YouTube to allow live streams, but I thought that was there. I'll have to do that after this. I can't do it now, so appreciate that feedback. But cool beans. So what kind of topics would you guys like to hear more about? South Africa, Africa, U.S., Donald Trump? People can't seem to get enough of Donald Trump.
Oh, well.
I've put everybody on the spot after midnight.
Anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be political.
Anything that's topical.
Yeah.
It's topical.
Okay. Well, one of the things I wanted to do was talk more about some of the positive aspects of Africa and talk about tourism and places to visit and of historical and natural beauty and note. That's one of the things I wanted to do. So it sounds like you guys at least would have an interest in that if I did it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds good. All right. Okay.
It would be good. It would be good to keep things aside. It's so easy because there is a lot of negative news and a lot of nonsense going on. To pull out when people are doing something good is a really positive thing. That'd be good.
No, I appreciate it. That's it's funny because I think I mentioned in one of my streams before on LinkedIn, where I've been very active for a while. On LinkedIn, I got a comment a couple of times from people in the last year or so, and they're like, well, how come all you report is negative stuff about Africa? And both times I was asked that question, I'm like, well, I don't. Do you watch my feed? And the person said, I've watched all your stuff. I haven't seen a single thing that's positive. And so I stopped right there midstream, and I went back and I looked over what I'd done just the previous 10 days. And I found 10 news stories over those 10 days, all of which were positive about Africa, talking about good governance, talking about economic things that went well. And they're like, oh. And the person was willing to admit they missed these. And so my concern was that maybe that LinkedIn was not sharing everything that was published that I did. And so maybe they're only seeing the negative things. And I said, I can't control that. I mean, but I can point you in the right direction. And that happened twice in the last year. And somebody said, you're just negative. I actually got a good lesson from a boss of mine many, many years ago. And I was a young officer, and I came in for my evaluation. Lieutenant Colonel Tim Lupfer, who worked for International Paper after he retired. He does something else now. But Colonel Lupfer said to me, he said, listen, Chris, you got to be more upbeat. And I said, what do you mean, sir? He said, listen, you're not, because I've been a non-commissioned officer. He said, you're an officer now. And I was the second lieutenant at Butter Bar. He said, and this is after the war. The Gulf War is over. We're back. We're disbanding our unit. And he says to me, you got to be more positive because you're an officer now and people look to leaders for inspiration. I said, okay, sir, I appreciate that. He said, but don't I have an obligation to, let the commanders and leaders know what's actually happening so we all don't die on the battlefield? and he chuckled. He goes, you are correct, of course. My point is that make sure that you kind of radiate some positivity when you're away from that staff briefing so that soldiers latch onto that confidence. It was great advice. It really was, because, when you're looking at the odds up against you, this was supposed to be the third or fourth strongest army in the world. And here we were going against 700,000 troops from Iraq. And it had been played up like this was going to be a disaster and tens of thousands of us are going to die. So it's kind of hard to go, okay, guys, have fun storming the castle, boys. No, you got to be honest. This is what we face. And so, but nonetheless, it was great advice, and I took it to heart. And every now and then I do a little self-check, and I step back and go, okay, wait a second. Sense the room. Who's down? Who's up? Okay, maybe you got to adjust. Adjust your message a little bit. But I'm not adjusting my message for Christian. No, I'm just kidding. So what part of the country are you guys calling in from tonight? Where are you guys all at? Gauteng, KZN?
I'm from the Garden Route.
UK Coventry.
Okay, UK Covington, Garden Route. That's the Western Cape. What was the other one?
KZN.
KZN. Well, I got one right. I was bound to get lucky there some way. Covington. Wow, cool. That's cool. UK. Excellent.
Coventry.
Oh, Coventry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you said Covington. Okay. Well, Coventry. Yes, of course. We didn't let folks know about the bombing there, did we?
Well, yeah. It's interesting actually that in the psyche, you touched on it the other day with the French issue and things like that. But it's interesting how even hundreds of years later, something is still ticking in the background. And I think that goes on in the African situation. It goes on between people in wars, lots of different things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keith. I'm sorry.
No, it's just sometimes those things are the things that need to be brought up. And, you surface it, you have a look at it, you put it in context, and then you move on.
Absolutely. Yep. Cool beans.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Keith, are you from Coventry, or is that just where you find yourself these days?
I was nearly born here. I was actually born in Newquay in Cornwall, but I've spent most of my life in Coventry. I've been trying to get over to South Africa once a year, do some voluntary work down in Lesotho.
Oh.
But that's why I'm interested particularly in the stream and everything.
Okay, cool. No, Lesotho is fascinating.
Yeah.
For years I never got to Lesotho, and then I finally went a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I kind of went on a high-profile visit. It was the deputy commander or deputy for civil military cooperation, a foreign service officer, an ambassador who served at Africa Command. And so I got to fly down in the private jet that they get from the Air Force. That was kind of cool. So one of those, so we flew down, we landed in Chad to refuel, and then we continued on. We went to Botswana first, which was old hat for me because I just left there just a year prior, not even a year prior. So I was in Botswana. From there, we flew to Lesotho. And we looked at some projects the Department of Defense was doing in HIV and some community centers that we built and things like that, and also met with the Minister of Defense and with the General Staff and such and talked about some projects. And then we flew to Cape Town where the ambassador was giving a lecture as part of a maritime conference that was taking place in Cape Town. So it was a really cool trip, really enjoyed it. I always wanted to go to Lesotho. It was the first time I ever got there. I always joke, I think you guys heard me say this, if I had my dream job, I would be a benign dictator of a small African country, and Lesotho is high on my list.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a good history. They're very, very successful there in defending themselves. There were some issues, but they were never actually a colonial country. They just were a protectorate. I mean, that was one of the things that the British Empire was quite good at towards the end, seeing their role as just keeping people safe so they could get on with their lives. I think that's often missed in the general melee of what did the British ever do for us kind of thing. If you've ever seen Monty Python's The Life of Brian, you'll recognize the quote.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That is kind of lost in these narratives a lot of times. So people always forget about Botswana as well. The fact that Bechuanaland was a protectorate and not a colony. In fact, as I've mentioned many times, it was so important that the capital wasn't even in Bechuanaland. It was in Mafeking, which of course is in South Africa. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Chris, if I could just say to Christian.
Yeah.
Christian, I think he's an authority in shooting people.
Who's an authority at shooting people?
You.
Christian's just being rude. Let him have his fun. This is a test session. If he wants to test out all his bad lines. Thanks for jumping in, Gareth. Is that a cider? What do you got going on there?
Yeah, I've still got the YouTube open. He deleted it though. I think you got a bit worried.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it's funny how people, it's interesting, guys, because before I got on with Big Daddy Liberty, we chatted ahead of the stream for a few minutes because we didn't have a chance. I usually speak to my guests a couple days before the stream, but in this case, it was just a few minutes prior. And we were talking, and he had it in his mind somehow that I was a South African colonel, that I was South African. I don't know how that came across. A lot of people, it's like people come on like, who do you think you are? You don't sound South African. That sounds like an American accent. I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm an American. Did you miss that part of the stream?
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see what else. Topics, travel. So you guys be good with that. Talk a little bit more about that and some more positive things. What about global things outside of Africa? Does that interest you guys? And I know there's a small selection of people who are watching, but
Yeah, that does. That interests me. Yeah. Any geopolitics I
Okay,
find interesting.
Anthony's going to join us here in a second. For those who can't see the stream, which would be everybody. So we'll be up to 5 participants. Anthony, are you there?
Hi, Chris. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you. You're dead sexy, man. You're blank.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that one. I don't have a cam at the moment.
No, that's quite all right. Thanks for calling in. It's okay because the only people who can see anybody is the 5 of us anyway. So no one else can see what's going on because it's not on the screen. So all they're seeing is the Mahalisburg and they can hear the conversation. Anyway, well, thanks for joining, Anthony. Where are you joining us from?
Northwest South Africa.
Cool beans. I love Northwest. Great place. Beautiful area. Oh, he faded out there. So, see, there's a lesson for me right there, guys. In doing this, I've got to pay closer attention to the participants over here because I'm the host and Anthony. I don't know how long Anthony was waiting there. I just happened to glance up and see Anthony was trying to get in the conversation. Right. So, yeah, no, but it's funny how people on YouTube, they come into the stream and even people who mean well, they come in and they don't really read what it's about. They just jump on it and we cover things and it's just kind of missed. I always find that interesting.
Yeah. People tend to grab something by the tail and run with it.
Yeah, fair enough. So a quick question, since I haven't used this feature and I'm paying for it now on Zoom. This is all, I mean, it's working fine for you guys. Did you have to download the client or is it letting you use your web browser?
I think I had the client already installed, if I remember correctly. So I could just basically click on the link and it launched.
Gareth?
I downloaded the client.
Okay, cool beans. Hey, Keith?
There's a lesson for me right there, guys. I've got to pay close attention to participants over here, not the host. Anthony, I don't know how long Anthony was waiting, right? That lines up this conversation. Right. So, yeah, no, but it's funny how people on YouTube, they come into the stream and even people who eat well, they come in and they don't really.
That's weird. That's me from a moment ago. And it's coming over Keith's thing. You probably got sound on the background there.
Yeah, sorry, I'll turn the volume down.
Yeah, no. I was like, wait a second. That sounds vaguely familiar, like 90 seconds ago. Keith is just having a crack on our expense there. It's funny. Anyway, so
I was another world there for a moment.
No, it's quite all right. Hey, so you guys just helped me out to just
didn't realize the chaos.
No, that's fine. Hey, so Gareth, how long have you been on YouTube and watching stuff on YouTube?
I think probably years, but yeah, I suppose my kids started watching all the shit that you get online, and yeah, join them to check it out.
Or to spy on them, make sure they weren't misbehaving, I would hope.
I definitely don't want to watch what they're watching.
That's hilarious. What about yourself, Sean? How long have you been watching stuff on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, probably about, I'd say maybe like 9 years or so, 8 years.
That's quite a while. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, yourself?
I've been playing around with YouTube since I was a very young boy. I would say around 2006.
Okay, now I can hear you very well, Anthony, and I swear to God that you are not Anthony. You are actually Ian Kama. You sound exactly like Ian Kama.
No, I'm not.
No, okay, well, that's quite a while, actually. Keith, what about yourself? Go ahead, break the stereotype about, generations and fossils and stuff like that. How long have you been on YouTube? Keith?
Let's see now. Not very long, actually. My interest has only really been during the lockdown.
Okay.
I was never on any live streams until I went to yours.
Wow.
Sorry. Yeah. Technically, I ended up on the church live stream the last 3 months.
Okay.
Because we just didn't get together to do our stuff. So that's been very interesting. I had a Bible study earlier on tonight, actually. So
cool. Well, let me ask this
those
question to
are
everybody.
quite nice things.
No, you can find some very. You can also find some garbage on YouTube, but you can find some very nice things. But let me ask you guys this each: how did you come across my channel, and what intrigued you about it? I'll start with Sean.
I think I found your channel via Ronaldo. I was watching the Ronaldo stream, and then I think you joined and you spoke with him briefly, and then I think that's how I got introduced to your channel.
You might have been talking about the first time I actually called up and spoke to him. It was like he was taking calls like this on Zoom, and he's giving people like 3 or 4 minutes, and I called in and we talked for 20 minutes, and the hour was up. That might have been the time that you heard me. Gareth, what about yourself?
I have no idea. I was actually wondering that yesterday.
Well, I know how I found my channel. I started in 2006 and didn't use it for 14 years. Hey, Keith, so you haven't been on all long. So how did you come across my channel?
I was listening to Loving Life first,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of got a sneaking suspicion maybe I came across you through that, but long before you had him on and he had you on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not quite sure how that happened. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know.
No,
I cannot remember.
It's funny because people.
I was quite taken.
You were what?
I was quite taken with your approach and your straightforwardness and that kind of stuff, and that it was about South Africa, I suppose. I don't know. There's lots of different factors, and then stuck with it. So.
Well, thanks, Keith. I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. And I'll compliment you. I love the Brian May hairstyle. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've been cultivating that for the last year and a bit.
Hey, Anthony, what about you? How did you come across my channel?
Well, Chris, I came across your channel while watching a live stream between you and Scott. And then I just felt this burning desire to ask you about what was your opinion on banning Leon Schuster's movies? I wanted to have a American's opinion on what was happening here.
No, that's cool. Thanks. Yeah, and I think I shared that. It's cuck. It's nonsense. It's just stupidity. You're just trying to cancel things that people don't understand. It's just annoying.
Chris, have you seen Christian's comments on YouTube?
No, I've kind of put that in the background. What's Christian saying? Oh, he's only here because it's easier to get my attention than Ronaldo. Well, that's probably because he's learned and he doesn't. Okay, I'll be nice. I'll be nice. Anyway, so Mario is here. Mario, your camera and your mic are off. Please put them on, or we're not gonna be able to hear you. Oh, there's your mic. Mario, welcome.
How are you?
I'm fine. You're very soft spoken there.
Yeah, sorry. You were talking about how we got to your channel.
Yes. How did you get to my channel, Mario?
I actually found out about your channel on Ronaldo's channel and Living Life.
Okay. Brilliant. Excellent. Someone was sharing with me that there's a bit of a lag. I don't know why the lag is there. Okay, cool. So are you enjoying it, Mario? You've been contributing, as I recall, in the chat. I appreciate that.
Yes, I was.
Cool. So, some people seem to float from YouTube channel to YouTube channel. So I wonder what some people do. And I realize it's lockdown for a lot of people still. And even for those who don't want lockdown, a lot of jobs have disappeared, particularly in South Africa, but not just there. We've lost, we had 42 million job losses in this country, which is just astounding. That's 3/4 of the population of South Africa just in jobs lost in this country. Now, a number of those jobs have started to come back. We gained about 3 or 4 million back in the last 2 weeks or something like that, and more coming back. But as we play this COVID-19 hysteria, it's going back and forth. So, for you guys, do you guys spend a lot of time online, or is it just something you do occasionally, or is it replace Mnet and DSTV? What about you, Sean?
Well, yeah, I kind of work from home, so this is my bedroom / office / workspace. So, so I'm pretty much, when I'm not working, I'll go on YouTube on a mobile device if I've got a chance. But the first chance I get, if I'm not working, I just want to go outside and, go mountain biking or kayaking or something.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, I'm pretty much stuck in front of the computer for 9 hours a day. So, but
So
while
that-
I'm there, I use the time to watch YouTube videos on a mobile, as long as if work permits.
So that's just kind of your life. I mean, it's being online. That's a big part of it. You're working from home. You're online, so it's just a natural thing for you to do. Cool.
Yeah.
You said kayaking. Have you ever gone whitewater rafting?
I did. I actually went in. I was in Colorado. I'm trying to remember the name of the river I went to. It's near Fort Wayne, I think. There was a Fort Wayne in Colorado somewhere.
Okay.
Did a little whitewater rafting trip down there 2 years back. That was fun. Yeah.
I've only ever gone whitewater rafting one time, and I did it on the Nile. And I didn't intend to go. What happened? I was in Kampala, and I was staying in the hotel, the ritzy Indian-owned hotel. They're really nice in the center of Kampala. And the Marines who had been doing training up at the peacekeeping camp had come down to join. And so they had scheduled to go on this whitewater rafting trip. And I figured, I'm not going to go. It was a Saturday morning. So I came down. I wasn't feeling well. And I started to beg off. And then I'm surrounded by all these Marines. And I'm in the Army. And they know I'm a colonel in the Army. And I'm like, crap, I can't beg off on this now. I got to go. So I'm like, okay, let's go. But I didn't have my shorts on or my swim trunks. I had jeans. And I thought I put my swim trunks in my rucksack, which had, things in it. So we drive a couple hours over to Jinja. We get up by the river, and we get down, and I look at my bag, and I have no shorts. So now I got to go whitewater rafting in jeans. And we went over these rapids, and of course we got dumped. And I got in the boat with the people that really had no concept of how you're supposed to do this. And they were just like freaking out and tipping the raft all over the place. And so I got tossed in the water. And while I can swim, I'm not a big fan of the water. I think water is for consumption and showering, not for recreation. So I got dumped into the Nile, and I went under, and I brought myself back up. And then I'm, weighing an extra 20 pounds because I'm soaked now in my jeans. Anyway, so they come around, they police everybody up, they put them back in the raft, you get back in, you start all over again. But the whitewater rafting was quite an experience. I don't know if I want to do it again.
Yeah, no, it can be fun, but yeah, you just have to be careful and safety first and all that. As long as you've got your helmet and your life jacket on and all that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's critically important. So
Yeah.
What about you, Gareth? You do any outdoor activities? You do mountain biking, hiking, anything?
No, I just go shopping. I'm pretty locked down at the moment.
Just go shopping. Okay. Well, I guess shopping's an outdoor activity.
My government don't like it.
There's my ranger, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been, man? Tom, welcome in. Can you hear us, Tom? Okay, I guess Tom can't hear us. Erica, you're there. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you brilliant. It's like you're sitting right next to me. Your camera's off, but I can hear you just fine. Welcome, Erica.
Yeah, thanks. No, my camera is off because it's late at night.
No. Okay, you're a lady, so I know better. It's the wrong hour of the day to have your camera on. Don't try to snow me.
No, it's off.
Erica, well, thanks for calling in. So, hey, Erica, how did you hear about my channel?
I think I stumbled on it by accident, but it was a good accident.
Cool. Well, it's better than stepping in a bear trap.
We don't have bears here, but I would rather say better than a crocodile trap.
Oh, there you go. I'll buy that. That's a bear attack is scary, but a crocodile attack, that's something else entirely.
Yeah.
That's upright terrifying.
Who said that? Anthony. Oh, Anthony's back. Okay, he was awful quiet there for a bit. So Anthony, you've been involved in crocodile attacks, have you?
No, but I know them on first hand.
Oh my goodness. Cool. So Erica, where are you calling in from? What part of the country?
I'm in Durban, actually Manzimtoti,
Okay, cool. Excellent.
right on the beach.
Yeah, I think I told this story. I don't know if everybody heard it. Tom is having a go with his camera there. He's trying to. We're seeing your office there, Tom. You have a nice office. I'm kind of envious, man. That looks really. I know people can't see it on the stream, but okay, now I can see Tom. Tom, can you hear us? For some reason, I don't see your mic isn't showing up. It just shows your camera, man. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. Must be a technical fault. There's a technical fault on Tom's end. Anyway, so yeah, we've got your camera, but not your voice. So let's see. So some people stumbled onto it. Some came from Ronaldo. Some came from Scott's Loving Life. Yeah, listen, I got to say, guys, the lockdown. Let me get some perspectives from you guys, if those of you are able to stay for a little bit. The lockdown, from my perspective, Tom. No, I thought I heard him for a moment there. No. Anyway, the lockdown, from my perspective, is quite something else here. Of course, those who've been watching the stream know that I've talked about what Governor Wolf has done in Pennsylvania here, and it doesn't apply across the country, but that's here in the U.S. But in South Africa, quite a draconian situation here. I mean, it's insane. I mean, beyond the cigarette and tobacco ban, which includes vaping, which doesn't include tobacco, so I'm still scratching my head on that one. You've also got all this other nonsense with arresting people for sitting in their front yards or walking and stepping off the sidewalk because your child is misbehaving and you're disciplining them. And then you get arrested for it and turned into a criminal. It's really scary. What has been the most, I don't know, say confusing or frustrating part of lockdown for you, Sean?
Oh, wow. Not being able to walk on the beach or swim in the ocean. I'd say that was the most senseless regulation that they've enforced. I don't see the logic behind it at all.
Somebody's got the stream on. If you could turn your volume down on the stream because it gets an echo, that's part of it. But people think there's a lag. I don't know who that is, but one of our participants has got the volume up. Yeah, so that is pretty nonsensical. I'm with you on that one, Sean. That's just crazy. Keith, what about in the UK? You've had lockdown situation there too. I don't know how it is in Coventry, but is it problematic?
Well, we started almost exactly the same time as South Africa, and we've had a fairly free lockdown. We've been allowed out to do exercising all the time, anytime we like. The government makes specific things that we should and shouldn't be doing, but then isn't necessarily that clear about exactly what they mean. So then we have the very great privilege of then just deciding to see it our way. So we interpret it how we like. There have been quite a few people fined over different things, but it tends to be if they are antagonistic towards being told they shouldn't be doing things.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Hey, Garrett,
or if they
I'm sorry, Keith, you weren't finished.
There
was a delay there. So, Gareth, what about yourself? What's been the most frustrating or annoying part of this lockdown thus far?
Probably my kids not being able to go to school, and they play rugby and sports, and now they've gone from sort of practice 3 times a week and 2 matches on the weekend to just sitting around and staring at each other.
That's just crazy. That really sucks. I grew up for part of my youth on a farm, and this would be the one time I really wish I lived on a farm, because at least you can associate, you can do things, you get outside and get around, and not put yourself in jeopardy because you're not around massive population. But I'm beginning to think, now that you mentioned rugby, Gareth, I'm beginning to think there's actually a secret objective here. And people are blaming the Chinese, but I'm starting to think that New Zealand has something to do with this, because it's interesting that New Zealand has resumed playing rugby, getting lots of practice in. And so when it comes time for test matches with the Springboks, there's going to be a very unfair advantage here, I think, and not just Springboks, but for Wales, for Ireland, for England. And I think that this is all part of a big scam by New Zealand to ensure that they improve and get the William Webb Ellis Trophy back in 2023 in France. Of all places, the lowest and worst quality bid for the 2023 World Cup. I'm just saying.
Chris, I think they were just scared that the Sharks are on the top of the log.
Are the Sharks on top of the log? I hadn't noticed. So
it
Gareth,
wasn't the Stormers.
No, that's true. It was not the best season. So Gareth, did you ever take kids to Kings Point and watch the Sharks?
Yeah, I go quite often.
Awesome. Yeah, it's I got famously sunburned like a lobster there one day. I discovered that which side is the wrong side of the stadium for an afternoon game, the east side.
Yeah. Avoid the east. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we mostly go to cricket as well, and then come back looking like we're British.
Sean sent me a link to what I need to do to fix this probably. I don't know if I can do it in this stream, so I'll have to try it for the next test. But okay, so thank you for that, Sean, through Skype. I appreciate it. Erica, I hear you giggling in the background there. I take it that you're either...
Sorry, I'm a giggler.
No, it's quite all right. Either you're buying into my conspiracy theory or you find it entertaining. Which is it?
I thought it was really entertaining. Yeah, I don't know what's happening about the Sharks now. They're really out of it.
Well,
So,
yeah. After since Bismarck Duplessis and Yanni Duplessis left, I really haven't had much interest in the Sharks. I have to be honest.
are you a Shark supporter?
I'm a South Africa rugby supporter, but when it comes to Currie Cup, it's Western Province. When it comes to Super Rugby, it's the Stormers, and then everybody falls somewhere below that.
Chris, you said that about Billy LaRue the other day.
Diplomatic, eh?
What's that, Erica?
Very diplomatic.
No, I'm seriously. I actually love rugby, but I mean, the problem is that I have favorite players that play for different clubs, and then they move around.
Yeah.
I really love Brian Habana, but he played for the Bulls, and then he came to Western Province, and I really liked him better. Gareth, what were you saying? I said something about Billy LaRue.
Yeah, you said you stopped watching the Sharks when Billy LaRue left.
Did I say Billy?
Weren't you a Billy LaRue supporter?
No, I am a Billy LaRue supporter. Although I think that he had hands made of stone in the run up to the World Cup final. I mean, my gosh, his passes were oof. For a fan of Billy LaRue, I was really disappointed in some of his passes.
I think it was just poor coaching, eh?
Maybe that's what it was. Hey, so Tom, it looks like your microphone's working now. You've got to unmute. You want to unmute it?
Cool, sir, on the net.
There you go. We've got Tom in the conversation now. Pleasure to have you joining us. Thank you for being a longtime subscriber to my channel.
Cool. Just got off of work here in beautiful Tennessee.
Okay.
And I saw that you had a Zoom meeting going. Actually, this is my second one today.
Well, it's supposed to be a live stream meeting, but I kind of horked that up. We've got an operator timing and headspace issue here on part of the host. And fortunately, Sean has bailed me out with a screen capture, which should fix this after the stream is over. I'll try it and see if that does the trick. But this was just a test session just to try out, because I went ahead and broke down and paid the 8 billion pounds of gold bullion to Zoom, so the Chinese can lock in on our conversations. Anyway, so Tom, you've been with me from early with this channel with this as a subscriber.
Yeah, I first saw you when you had that. Actually, you had Jeff Rodriguez on.
Yeah, that's right. We were talking about security sector reform in Liberia. You've been with me since then.
That's right. And then you had another a video about security sectors, I think.
Yep. No, that's kind of for everybody's edification. It's in the call. Just I think you guys know this because you've been with me for a bit now. You guys. Oh, got somebody else trying to get in here. But the intent with this originally was U.S. Africa, not simply South Africa, but because of lockdown and everybody being trapped in their homes, I noticed there was an interest in its view from the outside. So I started doing the straight voltage focused heavily on South Africa, which I think has resonated with a lot of people. But as you guys know, I'm also doing these streams on other things, small scale farming in Ghana, Lake Chad Basin security, debt in Africa, China, the debt bubble, and all that stuff. So I'm guessing that resonates well with people based on what you guys said in the conversation a few minutes ago. So
yeah.
Okay. So Erica, so do you think it's a conspiracy? Do you really think that the New Zealanders, the Kiwis, are behind this nonsense?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. Do you? Do you honestly think that?
No, I don't think. I'm just having a crack. No, I'm just having a crack.
I know.
No, people always asking about whether the Chinese are responsible and whether it was all conspiracy and all that. No, I think it's just ineptness. That's what it is. The Chinese screwed the pooch, and they screwed it royally, and that's what happened here. So somebody's come in, and they have this interesting name. Their name is Galaxy A10. So welcome, Galaxy A10. Are you part of the what's the Justice League? Galaxy A10, come on, I can't hear you. Your mic is off and your camera's off. Okay, so you're gonna have to sort that on that end. What's that?
Part of Star Wars.
Oh man, part of Star Wars. That's probably true.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Huh? What's that? Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I was thinking of. That's a cool movie. Anybody watch that thing? I love that movie.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I liked it.
I like the raccoon. It's hilarious. The raccoon is really funny.
My favorite is I am Groot.
Yeah. Well, of course. Well, gee, South Africans. I am Groot. Yeah. Actually, I have a little doll of that I got. It's a little animated doll where he stands there and he says, "I am Groot," and he jumps around, dances. So plays a little bit of music. Maybe I'll put that on the live stream in the future when it's downstairs in the basement. I used to keep it in my office to keep people entertained. So I'll probably bring it up at some point. All right, so now we've got Sean, we've got Gareth, we've got Keith, we've got Tom, Anthony, Eric, and the Guardians of the Galaxy backup team member, Galaxy A10, is with us. So he's from the reserve. He's from the bench. He's like number 18. Bring him in to replace the lock. You know, when the lock gets injured.
How many can you get on the Zoom thing?
I think 100 or something like that.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
quite impressive. I've never done this before.
Well, I've done it, but as a participant, not as a host. But you have to pay Zoom and their Chinese overlords. You know, it's an American company with Chinese overlords, so we have to pay them. But I finally broke down and paid them today. Yanni Fundeveld gave a super chat to try to motivate me to go ahead and break down and pay them. And being the miser that I am, I was unwilling to pay their price, and so I looked around for a coupon code. I got a discount rate by paying for a full year, even though I don't know if I like the service. And then I used the coupon code, so I paid like $80 US less than actually what it cost. So, woo!
Well done.
Yeah, exactly. Well done. Brilliant. Yeah. Anyway, so listen, Erica, let me ask you this. What about the content on the channel? Is there anything you'd like to see or a direction you might like me to go on the channel since I got you on here?
Well, I enjoy the way you're going, and the content is good. I enjoy the side chat as well. It goes off in its own directions in some ways. I don't know how you can follow us.
Well, the thing is that it usually works pretty well. The problem is that there's a lot of things, but number one, it's not like Ronaldo had a chat when Puxatani Ramaphosa made his appearance after hiding all winter and coming out after 21 days when he had his first appearance after not telling anybody. But when he did that, I think that Ronaldo had like 24,000 people who tuned in to his stream, and people were in the chat, and I'm like, this is insane. I can't read the chat. So I went ahead and I took the ENCA feed and I went ahead and did a live stream without announcing it. Like 20-some people came over because we could chat over there, so that was manageable. When you've got 100 or less people, you as the host, if you now I used to work in radio many years ago, and of course I'm accustomed to artillery shows going off and people shooting at me and other things, dogs barking. So I'm not boasting. I'm just saying that you get used to multitasking. But even so, keep up with the chat can be challenging. And what's with you guys in Marmite, man? What is with the Marmite discussion? Good Lord.
I don't know.
Yeah, Sean had a comment, but his mic is off. I think he was keeping it to himself.
Oh yeah, no, I just said I'm not much of a Marmite guy. I'm more of a peanut butter guy.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. You think you chatted there.
Oh no, I like Povrol.
Okay. What about you, Keith, up there in the UK? You ever do Marmite?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, it's a good source of your vitamin Bs, so you go for that like there's no tomorrow. Yeah.
Not my scene, man. Vegemite either. Not my scene.
That's a bit like grits. You either love it or hate it.
No, actually, I think that's an apt comparison, Gareth. I think you're right. You either love it or you hate it. That's good.
You'll be telling me next, Chris, you don't eat blue cheese.
Oh, dear God. That's disgusting. Well, we've got people sticking with us in the stream here, even while we're just shooting a breeze and they can't see us. So it's almost like it's a podcast with a lovely Mahaliesburg background. That photo gets so many questions. I'm actually astounded at how many people are curious about that photo. And I was looking for a good picture of all my photos. I have hundreds of thousands of photos I've taken, and I said, let me put this one up there. And it seems to have resonated with people.
It's like home to many of us.
Well, that makes some sense. Yeah. So, Erica, where did you say you're calling in from? I forget. I missed it. Was it?
I'm in Durban
Durban right,
at the moment, yeah. But I lived on a farm and moved to Durban in October last year.
Oh, so you're a recent arrival in Durban then? Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Be careful of that curry. It's very good. It's addictive.
I know.
I second that.
Oh, Anthony seconds that. Hey, Wilhelm has joined us. Let's see if your mic is up there. Your camera's not, but your mic is up. Welcome, Wilhelm.
Hey.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
Where are you calling in from?
Stellenbosch, South Africa.
Ah, Stellenbosch. I love Stellenbosch.
Steady.
I love Stellenbosch.
Currently under lockdown, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Still
brilliant
currently
place. What's that?
Sorry?
What's that, Wilhelm?
We're still currently under lockdown, but yeah, student year as well. But going good.
Excellent. So how did you find my channel, Wilhelm?
through Ronaldo, I think. I was just one day going through YouTube. I used to be interested in politics, but due to the current state of it, not anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it definitely can be migraine inducing, the political scene globally, not just in South Africa. Look at the nonsense going on in this country. I just shaking my head each and every day. And I'm really shaking my head because, South Africans, well, Afrikaners in particular and Boers in particular, Boek van Blerk, of course, recorded a song about 6 or 10 years ago, whenever it was, Delarey. Where are you at? Will you lead us? We need a Delarey here beyond, Donald Trump. At the state and local level, we need leaders to step up. In fact, I've had a couple people reach out and contact me and say, hey, why aren't you getting involved in politics and standing up? I'm like, okay. But yeah, no, it's just crazy how people are just sitting on the sidelines and just hoping and this nonsense will end. And it's not going to end until people start getting arrested and punished for their crimes. And at least that's my take on it. Anybody want to weigh in on that? Sean, you got any thoughts on the nonsense in America?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think that's probably going to be his biggest challenge is draining that swamp. I think that swamp's a lot bigger than he thought. Because these guys have been at it for decades. They're so ingrained and infused in the power structure at the moment. If he was to try and clear out the Republican Party and just get rid of all the elitists that are in the Republican Party alone, I think that's going to be difficult. But it would be great if he could. If you could pull that off, that would be fantastic. But it's going to be challenging. Yeah.
No, it would be absolutely challenging. I agree with you. It's astounding just how deep the stuff goes, and people. And I worked in these structures, so it's and I never claimed the deep state thing, but I saw the behavior of people, civilians, and even military people and political officials in our government when I was working in the Pentagon and working in D.C. in different agencies. And some of it I just dismissed. Well, those are people's personal political views. It doesn't affect their job. But in hindsight, I got to shake my head sometimes. I remember after 9/11, all these people working at one of the intelligence agencies, and they're like, Bush just lied. He lied. This is all cooked. It was all so we get Iraqi oil. And I'm looking at this person going, how do you come up with that conclusion? And then because I heard a few people say this and I had access, I went back and looked up reports that these people actually authored in the build-up to Iraq. And these very same people were now lying because they're the ones that were recommending we go into Iraq. And here they are 2 and 3 years later going, oh, Bush lied. Well, yeah, if he did, he had a lot of help from you. So we have Karen here. Karen, welcome. And this is not a Karen, but the Karen. So let's be clear about that. Karen, welcome in. Your mic is on mute. You can turn your mic on there, please. Oh, your mic is on, Karen. Sorry. Okay.
Hi. All.
Hey, Karen, welcome.
Yeah, pronounced Karen.
Yes, it is pronounced Karen, but I'm coming to you from America, so I'm not capable of a South African pronunciation. No. Yes, Karen, welcome. So where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Pretoria.
Ah, brilliant. My favorite place in South Africa. And people are like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. I love Pretoria.
Oh, no, I love it, yeah. I don't want to be anywhere else.
Cool beans. So how did you come across my channel, Karen?
I think it was through Roman's video, one of his videos.
Cool. Roman's channel is interesting. I'm sorry?
Yeah, it was through Roman's channel.
Yeah, no, I've tried to do a Roman impersonation, but I can't quite get the voice quite right. It's not quite there. I'm trying desperately, but I can't quite replicate it.
Yes, he does have a very nice voice.
Yeah, a lot of ladies say that. They say he has a sexy voice, and I'm like, okay, clearly we have different views of things. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. But I think Roman's channel is brilliant. I really like his morning shot. I don't know if everybody watches that, but I enjoy the morning shot program. And for those of you who wonder if I never sleep, when I do those early morning videos, I have to time them around Roman because I don't want to intrude on his audience. So when I premiere something, it'll be usually after him because people don't want to get up at 6:45 to watch a YouTube video. But people are like, do you ever sleep? And I'm like, yeah, occasionally. I mean, sleep is overrated.
Sleep is overrated. I agree with that.
Yeah. So, hey, Gareth, let's see. I wanted to ask you, your kids are kind of trapped around the house. They must be driving each other nuts and the parents as well. Oops, you're on mute.
Yeah, no, they're driving us insane. But fortunately, living in Durban, we've got nice big property. So yeah, got the swimming pool in the middle of winter to go swim in, and running around the garden, kicking a ball around, and otherwise online games and YouTube.
But no, seriously, Gareth, as a parent, this lack of school has got to be something that's distressing parents. I mean, this is absolutely, from my perspective, insane. The kids can't be in school, and we've lost a whole year of education here for all these kids.
Yeah, I think for us at least, with some, I suppose, white privilege in our area, the kids are all doing online classes, and they get to talk to their teachers every day, have sort of 45-minute sort of face-to-face Google Meets conversations. So they're doing their work.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I guess for some people, for a lot of people, as long as they have internet access, either with Skype or WhatsApp or Zoom or whatever you use, at least you can reach out to grandparents and cousins and such. Although it isn't the same as that, that being near somebody and seeing them. That really, I'm sure that people can't wait for this nonsense to end. So, hey, Tom, has the lockdown had an impact on you, and what's going on there in Tennessee?
Well, I work on Fort Campbell.
Hoorah.
So it's mandatory mask. If you want to go into any facilities, you got to wear a mask. And they are just now going back to full-time training. Soldiers have to wear a mask in training. They're enforcing social distances. Gyms are only open to active duty. And what's really killing me is the PX barbershops only serving active duty. So I've been getting homemade haircuts again, just like in Liberia. So that's why my head looks different every time.
Yeah, Tom, maybe you should share, just let people know. There's a reason you came on my channel when I had Jeff Rodriguez on. I was in charge of the Security Sector Reform Program in Liberia, and you were once upon a time in Liberia, were you not?
Yes, I was with DynCorp there from 2006 to 2009. And I helped set up training bases. I was chief of training, facility managers for both Barclay Training Center and Camp Ware.
Cool beans. Yeah, that was awesome
and
experience.
Survived all the movements from downtown Monrovia to Camp Ware and BTC and all that. And you were about the I think you were what, the third military
ODC chief?
Yeah.
No, I was technically the second. My predecessor actually started the office. You're right. Actually, the third. There was a TDY guy who came for like 6 weeks or something like that. So technically, yes, I was the third. Yeah.
I think that there was a Navy guy.
Yeah, there was an Air Force guy before him for a few weeks, and then the Navy guy was there for 2 years, or almost 2 years.
Yeah, and then there was another Army officer just before you, wasn't there?
I don't think so.
Or was it after you?
Oh, after me. Tim Mitchell was there after me, but before that was Al Rumfrey and then Tim Mitchell. Yep.
Oh, Rumfrey was after you, huh?
Yeah, he was immediately after me. I got replaced as a lieutenant colonel by a full colonel and a lieutenant colonel. He sent two of them to replace me.
So I survived you and went on to Rumfrey.
Everybody survived me, well, except for a few people misbehaved. There were 9 contractors who were sent home for conduct, but you weren't one of them.
No, I never went anywhere because Jeff Rodriguez fired my driver.
Ooh. Well, we won't get into that. So
it was cut downs.
Oh, yeah.
Downsizing.
Well, they did cut back on the money. We had a real serious cash flow problem there for a while. So Wilhelm is in the stream now. I can see Wilhelm. Welcome. Good to see you there.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out my laptop's camera setup, but got that going for me now. So yeah.
Well, you've sorted it. Excellent. Welcome in the chat. Hey, so I won't go too much longer for you because I don't want to tie people up unless they want to hang around. But I'm happy to do that. Hey, Keith, in Lesotho, what sort of charity work were you doing, if you don't mind?
There was a water project, just pumping water out of the border river at the top.
Okay.
And doing a bit of irrigation. It stalled a bit when the local guy who was heading it up died. That was and so we kind of stuck a bit at the moment because the finances have become a bigger and bigger problem. It's been tough since about 2008. My situation, I've been having to cut back on what I can do because I'm not in a highly paid job, so it ends up being minimum pay and all this kind of stuff. So,
oh, it's interesting nonetheless.
yeah,
I mean, sorry.
Ready to be, it's ready to be revived. We're working on it.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing that. So, Wilhelm, you look pretty good for a 50-year-old. You got quite a youthful face for a 50-year-old.
Yeah, I'm 21. I'm still a student at the University of Stellenbosch, where I live currently. So yeah.
And your median is everything's in English now, right? Or are there still some courses in Afrikaans?
Yeah, I'm actually Afrikaans, yes, but I'm doing it in English because I'm studying computer science and mathematics. So it's not really. I mean, Afrikaans can do it, but studying computer science and Afrikaans is, you're going to go international doing computer science, so there's no use studying it Afrikaans. But yeah, there is still Afrikaans, and if you want to, you can actually get the interpreter, which sits in front and give you a little thing which you put on your head, and then you can listen to, and they interpret it while they go along. So it's actually pretty cool if you want to do Afrikaans, depending on what courses you take. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Cool beans. Yeah. Is she from Western Cape, or are you just there to go to school at Stellenbosch?
No, I was born here. I was born 2 kilometers from the university. My mom's a scientist at the university. She's still working there. My dad works here. I've been here all my life. So, we live in a bubble here in Stellenbosch, so you don't really experience the rest of South Africa. But we've been around. But I love it here. It's an amazing place.
No, I absolutely agree with you 100%. It is a bubble, but it is a wonderful bubble to be inside. I really thrilled by Stellenbosch. You know, I've got a chapter in a book that Stellenbosch is going to be publishing. I'm still waiting for them to publish it. And I was really hoping they would invite me for the book launch to Stellenbosch. I'm waiting for that invitation. So hopefully that'll be forthcoming. So that's excellent. I got to get someone else in here. So now this, I think this name is meant to intentionally mess with folks, because if I look at the name and I look at it phonetically, it'd be like Rigel Tay or Rigel T. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so I probably mispronounce it every time. So is it Rigel? Is it Rigel? How do you pronounce it? When I say Rigel, I'm thinking of Star Trek, you know. Rigel? Rigel? Your mic is on, but I don't hear you. All right, if your mic comes back. Oh, there you are. Oh, wow, that's like, you know, a 2800 baud modem. That's really bad. For those of you who don't know what a 2800 baud modem is, that's, you know, back in the days when we first got electricity, that's what we used to use to call the internet.
I remember those.
I see hands going up. You guys can't see this on the stream, but there's hands going up, and I remember those. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember those too. Painful. I remember we got 9600 baud modems, like, woohoo, yeah, and then 14.4, and then suddenly it was 28.8, and then 56, and we thought we were in heaven. Yikes. My goodness.
That replaced tin cans and string in the Army, remember?
Well, and those big radios that weigh like 15 pounds that you have to hold up the side of your head. Yeah. And the batteries last for about 3 hours. So you got some poor sad sack who's carrying like 5 extra batteries in their rucksack just so you can talk for 24 hours. Just crazy stuff. And now we walk around with these little mobiles that have more computing power than the Apollo 13 launch. It's crazy.
In fact, I'm doing this Zoom on my cell.
All right, cool.
For those of you who care, that's why I can't hold the cell far enough without my glasses on.
And for those of you wondering, Tom is wearing those Army issue glasses. They are hideous looking. I can see that. They're meant free. They're meant to discourage coupling. They're great for COVID. That way we don't have a spike in the birth rate. Hey, Anthony, where did you say you were calling in from? I'm sorry. I forgot.
Northwest South Africa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but you didn't say where in Northwest. So,
Freiburg.
Oh, okay. Cool beans. Cool beans. Okay, excellent. So what do you do up there, if you don't mind sharing?
At the moment, I'm unemployed. I recently lost my job as an IT engineer. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting at home watching YouTube videos and building gates, that sort of thing.
Ah, shame. Sorry to hear you lost your job. I hope that that this nonsense ends and that something comes back. That would be great.
I'm thinking of starting my own business at the moment because honestly, I mean, Willem will agree with me on this one. There isn't a lot of jobs that I can go into that's utilizing the full potential of IT engineering. So that's why I'm gonna start my own company. Already got a name. It's called Bear and IT Solutions.
Okay, cool. Sounds interesting. You can't use the Indaba Africa group though. That's mine. It's registered.
And I'm still trying to get my business registered. I already made a few cards and I sent all the emails in. So I'm waiting for them to respond and say, okay, no, you can use this name or not. But it's looking good so far.
Well, excellent. I wish you the best of luck with that. It's cool. If you would like some free product placement or advertising, once you get started, let me know, and I'll promote your business if you're interested in that. Just let me know. Give me a little banner or something I can stick up like I've done for other folks in here. I'm happy to do it. So let me ask this question for folks, because this is always fun. People around the world always say things about other countries, and most of the people in the stream right now are in South Africa, except for Tom and Keith and I. So the rest of you in South Africa. But let me ask this question in general. So I know that Tom has traveled the world, and obviously Keith has done a bit of traveling, at least to South Africa and Lesotho. So what about the rest of you guys? Do you get any traveling domestically, or have you traveled and seen any of the rest of Africa, the world? What about you, Sean? I'll start with you.
Yeah, I've been to the US a few times, and then I've been to a couple of airports in Europe. That was about it.
that was a
Never
transfer
really
to get to the States, right?
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to visit rest of Europe, but I'd like to. I mean, I'd definitely like to go to Switzerland or one of those places before I die, or before the next shutdown. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
Because then I might die.
You might want a more immediate term goal, before
Yeah,
the next shutdown.
yeah.
So where did you go in the U.S.?
I was in Florida a few times, and Northern California, Oregon, and many years ago I worked in a carnival, and then I was in the Midwest, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana, and then later on we moved down to Georgia and Alabama. So yeah, there's a couple of other places that I'd still like to see. I'd like to go to Alaska. I didn't get to go there, but I definitely want to check that out.
No, that would be awesome. I'd
when
love
it's
to go to
summer.
Alaska.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
close. I've been to British Columbia, but I haven't been to Alaska. So, Sean, you don't have to disclose this, but I'm curious now. Carnival, are you a traveler?
I was a carny, yeah.
That's
I was
hilarious.
a carny. I was working in one of those games where you put the quarters in and then it pushes the prizes off the edge.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing that. Hey,
Sure.
Gareth, what about yourself? You had a chance to travel the world to see anything, or South Africa or Africa?
Yeah, I went to the States as a kid. Been over most of Southern Africa and the Middle East for work. And yeah, that's about it. Looking to go to the UK, in about April this year.
You mean you were looking to, but now you're looking in 2021 April, or what?
No, I'll still go as soon as I open the borders.
Oh, okay, cool. No, that's interesting. Middle East. You been in the Emirates or somewhere like that, or Dubai?
Non-disclosure agreements. I was in Oman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to intrude. Yeah, Gareth does have that look like he works for the security services. He's very circumspect about what he can tell us. So.
No, I used to work telecoms and security systems. So.
Okay, gotcha. Cool beans. All right, interesting stuff. All right, so Keith, you've been to Lesotho, and I'm guessing South Africa. I'm going to guess you've been a few more places.
Only a couple here and there. I did a couple of places in Europe. Picked up a car from Paris once. Been over to America on the East Coast a bit. I was carrying the bags just on a silver and silver plate recce to try and get some extra stuff through to Italy for a friend. I did a little trip down to Australasia, did Malaysia and Australia. Went down for a friend's wedding in Malaysia and then visited other friends in Australia looking for an agent for a flow meter company in the UK, which didn't pull off anything for me, but I don't know whether they ever got anything working with it. But I found a guy. But yeah.
So I like that how Keith says
nowhere else.
I like that. So like Keith says, I've just been a few places, and he's been everywhere except Antarctica in Russia. all over the world. All right.
Now,
So, what's that?
one of my first flights was on an Aeroflot. We bounced through Moscow in '89 when the place was kind of shutting down.
He's been to Russia too.
To get some breakfast, but only for 3 hours or something.
Hey, look, I've been in Hong Kong for like 3 hours. It counts, right? At the airport.
Oh, I did do a nice stopover in Austria as well on the way back from South Africa.
Yeah.
Because we in Vienna, and so I got off the plane, out the airport, onto the bus to go out of town, walked through Winterthur, picked up the train to come back into the airport, and then flew back through to the UK. So I had a nice 3-hour break walking in Winterthur. I wouldn't try that in any other countries on a 3-hour stopover, but it was okay in Austria.
Cool. Yeah, and Austria is beautiful. Österreich, that's how it's called. Österreich, beautiful place. Yeah, Salzburg, Innsbruck, Tyrol, just absolutely beautiful. So, Karen, what about yourself? Any chance you've been traveling around the world, seeing anything interesting?
No, Chris, I'm very much a homebody. I've been to most places in South Africa, but not out of South Africa. And I'm terrified of flying, so it most likely will never happen.
Do you have a favorite part of South Africa?
Well, where I am.
Okay.
Pretoria, Gauteng is my favorite part, but I absolutely love Mpumalanga. Like I said, I've got family in most places. I've been to the Cape. I've been to Natal. Many holidays spent in Natal. My grandmother was there. So yes, I'm love South Africa. It's my home. So
no, it's
anywhere in
amazing.
South Africa. And I was born in Namibia, but came over to South Africa at a very young age. So
whereabouts in Namibia?
In Windhoek.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Okay,
yeah.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Yeah, no, I love Namibia. It's just not enough people there.
Yeah, no, unless I can walk to somewhere, I'm not a happy traveler. So.
Well, I was going to say in Namibia, you're going to do a lot of walking in that place. It's huge.
Yes.
So let me see if I can get Rigel T in here. Can I get you in now? I couldn't hear you earlier. It was broken up. Is it any better? No, still not hearing him. All right, Wilhelm, it's your turn. You've been around the block for a long time there, my friend. So where have you had a chance to see? You did mention you live in a bubble, but have you gotten outside the bubble at all?
Yeah, actually I have. I've been to Namibia 2 times. We've been to Zimbabwe, basically most southern Africa. My family loves camping, so but they don't like the eastern part of South Africa, so we never go there. So I've not been to Johannesburg or Pretoria or even Durban, but we went up to Namibia and even Zimbabwe. And then last year we went to Europe for the first time, which was actually pretty cool. We have family in Germany, which visits us often in South Africa, but we never go to them. So it was a first experience. And it was quite different to see everything working, civil services, taxpayer money going to something useful. It's actually pretty cool to see, but yeah, that's me. I want to go to US sometime, but we'll see when that happens, maybe on a work opportunity or something in the future.
Well, in the IT field, there definitely will be opportunities to come to the U.S. A lot of IT professionals find their way over here at some point or another, so that might be an opportunity for you. But no, you've traveled quite a bit. When I was your age, I was kind of in the same boat. I had never gotten anywhere outside the U.S. until I joined the Army, but then I went to Europe and I went all over. So that's quite interesting. Your family likes to camp, so I take it they have like a caravan or something like that. That's what they do?
Yeah, we started off with one of those luxury type caravans, and now they have a 4x4. What they called, it was first a Conqueror, which was developed by people of the old South African Army that actually made armored vehicles. So they made these Conqueror type vehicle, or they called it Conqueror. And there's like these big 4x4 caravans. You can see like the army design. My dad used to be in the military, so he loved this stuff. And now we have this new smaller one, which I don't really know the name of, but you can only house 2 people in it, so it's just my mom and dad mostly. I have to sleep in a tent.
Well, that's fascinating. That's cool stuff. Thanks for sharing that. So, Rigel, I think you were trying to get in and test your mic. Is it working now? We'll give it another shot here.
How's it? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
4 5
They're
6.
coming through.
4 5 6. Coming through. Coming through.
Cool, man. Yeah. So I'm here in the Midlands in KZN. Yeah, just had a bit of a issue with Telkom. I'm communicating through my browser, so I had a bit of issue there, but it's working fine now. So
No,
all should be good.
Sounds great. So how did you, let me catch up with some of the questions. How did you become aware of my channel?
I actually came aware of it through my father. We normally have political discussions. Just a disclaimer there, I'm not really a political guy, but with my dad and whatnot, we have conversations and that's how I became aware of it. So yeah.
Cool beans. So I take it your father listens to my channel, or watches my channel, I should say.
Yeah, I think he does. He's probably sleeping now, because I'm an IT guy, so I normally work late.
Well, I would hope. I mean,
but yeah,
it's getting kind of late in the Midlands down there. But
yeah.
Yeah. So how am I getting the handle wrong? Is it Rigel? Is it Regil? Is it Tay? Is it T? How do you say it?
It's actually just an alias. As an IT guy, I know the importance of privacy. So for now,
No,
but
it's fine.
you don't
I'm
have
just
to worry. I'm
asking
not
how
going to say
you.
anything crazy or
I'm
anything.
just asking how you pronounce the handle. That's all. I realized
Well,
it
it's
wasn't
actually
it wasn't a
Wriggle,
name.
which is a oscilloscope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a made-up thing. It's the brand of a oscilloscope. Yeah, so I just kind of made it up. But anyway.
Okay. No, there's
Cool.
nothing wrong with it. No, it's look, I appreciate people being circumspect. The reason I didn't have a YouTube channel, I wasn't doing this for a long time because I was a serving intelligence officer. You can't exactly be going on YouTube and going,
Yeah.
So I work at the National Security Agency.
Yeah.
Here's my house. Come on. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's another reason people
Yeah.
were trying to write to me early on for the channel, like, what's your email? What's your email? I'm like, if you want my email, go to the About tab. There's a place to get it. Well, I can't find it. And people are like, just write in the chat. I'm not putting my email in the chat because that's discoverable.
Yeah.
That's text that can be found. Next thing you know, you get bombarded. Listen, it's not a foolproof system, but people who want to be malicious usually aren't that
Yeah.
bright, or they're lazy, so they won't go through the trouble to do that sort of thing. So if you just
Yeah.
Anyway, so I make it available to them. So what do you do if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, so I'm a software manager. My uncle's actually in Florida. He went 3 or 4 years ago.
Uh-huh.
He's hoping to become an American citizen, and he has a small company there. So I mostly do work for him, just managing his systems, on the server and whatnot, and doing some electrical work.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, yeah. So like he does these little devices that they put in trucks and vehicles, like telecommunications, with video cameras, and it's almost like having a bug in your truck.
Yeah.
But I mean, what can you do? The company pays for it and that. But anyway, so he does things like that, and we just manage that system. And that's basically
No, your uncle, he must not.
what I do now.
Your
Yeah.
uncle must not have gotten the memo. He must be very confused. Apparently, he didn't get the word. I don't know if you know this, but this is a country that's full of systemic racism, and it's not a place that people want to come to because it's a failed country. It's bad governance. The streets are falling apart.
Yeah.
Our infrastructure is eroded. So I just do this as a public service to let you know. I let your uncle know what he's getting himself in for here. It's a dangerous place. Just chaos on the streets. So anyway.
Yeah.
Interest of full disclosure.
Yeah, he knows all about it. Yeah.
There's Gus. Look at
Yeah.
that. Gus
Well,
is
I'm
coming.
hoping to get him on the show sometime. I don't know when, but I'm pretty sure you'll have some good stuff to talk about. So hopefully in the future, something
be
to look
cool.
forward to. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Gus, I think you just came in, and I don't know if you were playing the stream in the background. or
Yeah,
someone else is.
definitely.
Well, thank you, Rigel, for joining us. I appreciate that. So, Gus, hey, welcome. I don't know if you can hear me.
Cool.
I'm sorry, Rigel.
Thanks again for being such a great host. Awesome.
Well, no, thanks. Sir. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys tuning in here, and I appreciate you calling in and getting your IT working there. For an IT guy, it's always helpful if the IT works. So Anthony's still here? There's Anthony. Anthony's over there. Hey, Anthony, what about travel for you? I don't think we got to you on travel, did we?
I've never traveled outside South Africa, mostly inside South Africa. I've been almost everywhere. Western Cape, camped in Hornet Bay, Cape Town, George, PE, all the way Durban, Amanzimtoti, Kruger National Park, Joburg. I've been everywhere. but never set a foot outside of South Africa. Unfortunately.
Have you ever been to Pilanesberg because you're up that direction?
No.
What about Madikwe?
I don't even know where that is.
Dude, I put you on the spot with 2 places in Northwest.
There isn't really anything in Northwest. The only thing I know about is what they call the Deep Gat. It's close to Kuruman. It's one of the deepest diving places you can go. I think there was a guy a few years back. His name was Dave, that unfortunately died at the bottom of the hole while diving down, and only after 3 years they were able to recover his body.
Ooh, that's a mess.
I was there once. Awesome place.
I suppose 3 years is better than Home on the Lady. It took us, what, 250,000 years to recover the body of the people in the caves in Sterkfontein? That was quite a while. That's quite nice. Listen, I love the Mahalisburg. I think people know that. The photos from the Mahalisburg, it's just a beautiful region. I really, really love that part of the country.
Honestly, in my opinion, the best part of South Africa for me is the Drakensberg. I was there, and we took a 12-kilometer hike up the mountain. That was one of the most beautiful scenes that I've ever seen in my life. If I compare that to Table Mountain, I would gladly go back to the Drakensberg.
No, I got you. I've been to both. I've been on top of Table Mountain and dodging the pickpockets and thieves and criminals up there, surviving them. And I've also been in the Drakensberg. I've never been up on top of the escarpment in the Drakensberg, let's say at Royal Natal National Park, but I've been there. It's a sight to behold. It really is beautiful. The Royal Amphitheater is something unique. Sean's shaking his head in affirmative there. He agrees.
Yeah, and the other one is Pinnacle Point.
Yes. Absolutely brilliant.
God's Window.
Yep.
You've got to see God's Window.
What's that, Keith?
You got to.
Oh, you got to see
God's window.
Got to see God's
particularly
window.
If he's there and then it breaks and you see the cloud underneath you. I think it's the shot in The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
That might be. I don't know. That's a movie. Wait till they ban that or they deplatform that from television. Bunch of idiots. I love The Gods Must Be Crazy. So let me try to get Gus back in here. Gus, are you in? Your avatar pictures there. Now I can see the camera, but your mic is off. Gus, go ahead.
Yes, I was sitting smoking in the background. That's why I stopped the video.
You were smoking. Are you in South Africa?
Yes, I'm South Africa, yes.
Just a moment. Yes, can you connect me to Nkosazana Dalinini Zuma? Yes, we found a smoker.
Should I leak this?
He's zolling. He's zolling right now. It's in front of me on the screen. I think you can find him in the Madikwe Game Reserve in Northwest. Just go up there. He's in a lodge. I'm not sure which one. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, yes, all right. No, I'm not a cadre anymore. I didn't pay my dues. Bye. Anyway, so and I'm glad you're enjoying your smoke there. Listen, people know I don't care for cigarettes, but I don't begrudge people smoking, and it's really sad what's going on there. So, Gus, how's it going, man?
All right. Still on the lockdown, but I guess I'm on a lockdown for 18 years. I'm working from home. I'm an IT guy. I work for an American company. And I'm with them for 20 years, and of those 18 years, I'm working from home. So they allow me to stay anywhere in South Africa. So I found a nice little village here close to the sea, small little town. And here I lock myself in a study and I work all day and all night.
There you go. It's amazing how many people are in IT that are on the stream. Listen, Gus, I got to tell you, working for an American company, that's a good start. We're on a good start right here.
Yeah, so the lockdown, the only part that affects me is the psychological part where somebody tells you, you can't do this and you can't do that. And of course, paying triple the price for cigarettes. But then again, the black market is so sophisticated here nowadays. You just pick up the phone, order your black market cigarettes, and deliver it at home. And the prices did come down. It's about double the normal price right now.
Oh, that's all, just double. Okay, so it sounds like petrol.
So that's okay, and that double is still cheaper than it costs in America. So it's not like the price of cigarettes in California. It's cheaper than that.
Yeah, but
we pay 70 rand a packet now. That's like I guess $3.50.
Yeah, that's cheap. Well,
$4.
But you realize, of course, the reason that that's so high in the States, and like in New York City, it's like $13 a pack. That's because it's taxes. It's all taxes. It's not the cost of the cigarettes. When I was first enlisted in the Army, you could go to the commissary and get a carton of cigarettes, a carton for less than $3.
Yes, yeah.
Because there's no
That's
taxes.
that's how it should be.
Well, yeah, I'm sure smokers want to say that. That's for sure. But let me get Tom back in here real quick and back to the travel thing. Hang in there, Gus. So Tom, you've traveled the world quite a bit for work. What's your favorite place you've ever been?
Oh, actually, Alaska, I think.
Okay, that's two people looking for Alaska. Was it Gareth? I think wanted to go to Alaska
Kind of
too.
cold, but
No, it wasn't Gareth. Sean.
it was clean. That was the big thing.
Okay, cool beans.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let me see. Let me go around, guys. We can probably sit here for hours and hours and hours, but people probably want to drop off. So let me go around the horn and just give everybody a chance to add something in here before we drop off. Hey, Sean, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate you being part of this. The Zoom session's been a lot of fun for me, and it's helped me out. I'm sitting here being the maestro running things. So it's helped you guys really. It's not been a waste of time. It didn't go into the stream. People can hear it. They couldn't see it. I'll fix that because obviously, as we say in the military, operator timing and headspace, which means it was my fault. But Sean, what do you want to add to the conversation? Or something you'd like to say before we go?
I think it was great. It was nice meeting everyone, and I think this might be a good medium for you to use in the future if you want to start interviewing larger groups of people. I think this can definitely work once you start, once you iron out the bugs and know how to share the screen. I think it'll be fantastic.
Cool beans. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Hey, Gareth, anything you want to add or any questions or comments before we go? Oh, you're on mute.
No, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, as much as I had to say when I was on mute.
Thanks a lot, Gareth. Appreciate you jumping in. Keith, anything?
Oh, we've just got some nice advice on tourism coming on the chat, where to go to in South Africa, which is great.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Panel work, and I don't know, there's probably some questions that we could be asking you, but I don't know whether you're allowed to answer them all. That's the thing. You might be retired, but they might be keeping an eye on you still.
Oh, I'm sure people are keeping an eye, but there, of course, there's things that I can't disclose because they're it's protected information sort of thing. It's weird when you deal with government secrets is that there are some programs which only 2 or 3 people have knowledge of. So I'm watching this thing so I'm glad you brought that up. This thing about Trump was briefed on the Russians paying a bounty to kill American soldiers in Afghanistan. Really? You believe that? Maybe not the case. George Bush was also briefed that it was possible for pigs to fly, but that doesn't mean they actually flew. Anyway, yeah, but I'll leave it at that. But thanks a lot for joining us, Keith. I appreciate it. Anthony, you still there?
Yep.
Anything you want to add?
I just saw the news just now about the new swine flu that's coming out of China, and the reporter says, they're wondering if this thing is going to spread like the COVID-19 if they can't keep it up under wraps. But it apparently started from pigs now, and it's been mutating and jumping to humans. And now it's mutating again to jump easier between humans. Now I'm wondering how are they going to stop this if they couldn't even keep the COVID-19 at bay?
Well, I mean, lots of viruses come out of China because of close proximity of poultry and swine to human beings, mass factories and such. It's not the only place where they come from. Of course, we got Rocky Mountain spotted fever that came from here, and Legionnaire's disease, which came from other things. But China definitely, lots of viruses come out of there each and every year. Most of them are things that don't really affect the world, don't get around. So who knows what's going to go on with this one? You can't trust the Chinese Communist Party and its lies about what it's doing and not doing. So I guess we'll just have to hope for the best. But it's not over, ladies and gentlemen. RNA is just strands of information. It recombines, it changes, it adapts, and it does it quickly because it's a small set of instructions. And so we will see more of these sorts of things. Hopefully we won't see this level of hysteria that we've seen. I mean, this is why I call this the greatest political hoax, because even at this stage, we've had just over 500,000 people whose deaths have been attributed to it. But that's still smaller than those who died from malaria in 2019. 620,000 people died from malaria last year. Now, I'm not trying to downplay it. It's highly infectious, but so is tuberculosis, and we don't shut the world down for tuberculosis, which killed 1.5 million people last year. So anyway, it's just if they do this every time, then civilization will simply cease. So it's not going to be possible. It's going to have to be something sorted out. But thanks for that update, Anthony. I appreciate it.
Chris.
All right. Karen, anything to add before we shut down here?
Yes, Chris. I just wanted to say thank you. I enjoy your thoughts and your knowledge, especially on Africa and South Africa. I'm really enjoying that. I did actually want to test my connection. They put fiber in yesterday for me, and I've done a fair share of Zoom meetings over this last 3 months. So I actually also had a sneaky reason I wanted to just test the connection and how much improved it is. So thanks for giving me that opportunity. And genuinely, Chris, you are a pleasure to listen to.
Well, it's very kind of you. By a donkey. Thank you very much. You're
welcome.
Thank you so much, Karen. So, Tom, what about you? Any thoughts before we close out?
Yeah, I'd just like to say bounties on American soldiers isn't anything new, I don't think. I was in El Salvador in '81 when there were only 50 or 55 of us there. I was number 56, though. And there was a bounty on me by name and rank. And the other thing is, as I said, I'm working this off of my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised. It's very clear. You're coming in 5 by 5.
Cool.
Outstanding.
So, Tom, if you don't mind me asking before we move on, yeah. So Tom Hara, are you Japanese American for other people's edification?
I am. I'm third generation here.
So your grandparents were likely caught up in King Franklin's internment of Japanese Americans.
My parents were.
Oh, your parents?
My parents were in relocation camp, and my brother was born there.
Yep. That's a pathetic part of our history. My apologies to you, Tom, and to your family for that. No one should be subjected to that nonsense.
And most of my uncles joined from relocation camp, went to the 442nd Regimental Combat Team. I had one uncle who thought he was going to go to 442, but they sent him to language school in Minnesota to learn Japanese, which he spoke already. He had lots of fun up there, he said. And they sent him to the Pacific. And
so they sent him to Minneapolis to learn Japanese. You gotta love the U.S. Army, man. I swear to God.
Camp Savage, and yeah, he was one of the few that went there. And his classmates are. I think there are 3 or 4 of his classmates that are in the Military Intelligence Hall of Fame. They a couple of them were with Merrill's Marauders. One of them was with Guadalcanal with the Marines early on. He actually ended the war in Korea as occupation force, hated Korea so much. He re-upped for the regular army to get out of Korea to go to Japan. He volunteered to go to occupation force Japan to see his parents, my grandparents, because they were sent back to Japan just before the war.
Oh, that's fascinating. Cool beans. Tom, thanks for sharing that. I don't know about everybody else, but a little head shake if you agree. I think that's some fascinating stuff to hear about. Yeah, pretty cool. I think most people are impressed by that. Yeah, America is an interesting place. People look at us as if we're all white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and we all came from England. That is not even close to America. In fact,
and actually, my mom's birth parents were killed in the 1918 pandemic.
Yeah, I was going to say that's. I've talked about that on my stream too. I have a lot of family members, cousins. Obviously, not my direct line, or I wouldn't be here. Cousins who died in the Spanish influenza pandemic from 1918 to 1921 in Baltimore. I got one gravestone, this huge monument in Catholic cemetery that's got like 23 of my relatives who are buried there. It's just insane what happened. So anyway, thanks for sharing that, Tom. Really appreciate it. Cool beans.
Ooh.
All right, so let's. Rigel, are you still there?
How's it? Yes, I am.
Any closing thoughts or comments?
Not really. I am pretty new here, so I'd like to just see what's going on first and whatnot. But I think you're a really decent host. I mean, there's not a lot of people that give trolls that much, leaning space. So, yeah, there's not really much. The only thing I can really say is people should take privacy more seriously. That's all I have to say, really. But yeah. Anyway.
No,
Cool.
Regal, I can agree with you on that. Having worked at the National Security Agency, people think that things are protected. Things aren't protected nearly as well as you think they are. And then some of the things we do on an individual basis kind of puts things at risk. So just be smart about your privacy and how you do things with social media and how you interact with the world. Just good advice. I appreciate that. So that leaves Gus and Wilhelm. I'm going to go with Gus first because I want to explore a little bit about this German stuff with Wilhelm. Anyway, so Gus, any closing thoughts?
No, not much. I joined a bit late. You should do it again. It's nice to speak face to face.
It's a pleasure,
And I'm
man.
following you on YouTube as well.
Excellent. Is that a mountain bike in the background there?
Yes.
Excellent. Brilliant. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Gus. So Wilhelm, you were talking about German relatives. So your family, are you Afrikaans or Afrikaans German, or if you don't mind?
No, I'm squarely Afrikaans. My uncle went to, actually my uncle's now in Germany. He married a German woman. That sounds wrong, but yeah. So basically after serving in the, what do you call them? The parabats down here.
Yes.
They're like the guys that jump out of the planes in the army.
Purple berets.
Yeah, so my uncle was one of them, and he loved it so much. So he went to America, and he jumped out of planes there, so in front of stadiums, and basically did those type of things. Then interesting story actually. One day he woke up, I don't know, and everything got stolen from him, including his passports and all this stuff. And he was in the country, illegally speaking. And he went to one of the cops and told them, "I'm in the country illegally. What should I do?" And the guy laughed at him and said, "Go." That was quite a strange situation, but yeah, then he moved to Germany, and he has kids there now, which are my cousins, and they're, well, as German as you can come. So first generation, I guess. But from my family's side, we've been in South Africa for, I think, six generations. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah, been through the Great Track, everything. So yeah.
Cool beans. No, it's funny you mentioned that because there are actually Wyatts in Germany. My uncle married a German woman, 30 or 40 years ago or so, and had a couple of kids, and then they split. They came back to the States. He was in the military. They got married in Germany, came back to the States, and she's like, "Nope, I'm out of here. Exit stage right." She went back to Germany. They got divorced. She took the kids. My cousins grew up in Germany. And the irony about this is that nobody in my family bothered to mention that I had these cousins living in Germany. My first tour in Germany in the 80s, I was 30 minutes from where they lived at. And it was in my early 20s. I could have went and met them. I didn't find out until my third tour in Germany that I had cousins living there. So I didn't really get to link up with them, which is really a shame. But their surname is Wyatt, but they speak German. They're half American, and they're half German, and that's where they grew up at. So Anthony just did a super chat. Wow, that's interesting. Thank you so much for that, Anthony. A 35 Rand super chat. Really appreciate that. That's kind of cool. So you're Afrikaans through and through. That's cool. But you've got Wilhelm, not William or Willem. That's interesting. Is that just a family choice?
No, it's actually not my real name.
Okay. You're actually Reclus Suave, and you're protecting your privacy, as Rigel has warned you should do. All right, that's cool. Actually, my name is not Chris Wyatt. It's Antonio Bandares, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, of course. No, being obviously, I'm not in IT. I'm studying computer science at the moment. It's not really as fun as I imagined it. I'm thinking of moving to something else. But we did a lot of cryptography, and one of the things I realized is even if something says they're encrypted, don't trust it. Encryption can be broken, or there can be backdoors. I mean, there's a new law coming in the United States, I think, that actually tries to ban encryption or wants government backdoors. So, protecting privacy, big thing.
No, that's
especially
good.
in the modern era of today.
So thank you, Johnny Clegg, for sharing with us your experience as an Afrikaner. I appreciate that. Anyway, I think I've gotten everybody in now. A chance before we close out. Listen, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for calling in so we could try the Zoom session. It does work. We just got to fix the piece inside of Streamlabs and YouTube, and I'll fix that on this end. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you guys being subscribers and followers and those who are members of the channel. It really is kind of cool. I debated about whether to do this or not. Like I said, I mentioned the channel. It was always going to be something where, like when I did that presentation, the Great Decisions Brief, South Africa's Fragile Democracy 2 years ago, I was always going to have the YouTube channel and have a link to something like that to go, oh, look here, to build my brand. Say, this is what I talk about. This is what I know and don't know. And like when I went to Denver to talk at the Energy Africa conference, things like that were going to be in there. And then I would occasionally do kind of like a little promo video or something like that. But the lockdown really changed the approach, and I've kind of put more out there. So it seems like people appreciate it. And even the trolls, they seem to keep coming back for more. Keep smacking them, but they just keep coming back for more. So, listen, my philosophy is this. Everybody here has an interesting story. Some are more interesting than others, but all of them are interesting.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. Listen, we just talked to Tom about his parents being interred, in what I would call, he said relocation. I think that's generous. I call them concentration camps, but not quite as draconian. But that's a pretty interesting story. And we learned about outdoor stuff from Sean and what people are doing. And it's Gareth works for the security services, so he didn't tell us much. We won't go into any depth on that. But anyway, so no, everybody's got a story, and it's interesting that you all called in and we get to share it. It's better than just the chat. So once I get this sorted, I'll do probably at least once a week if it's popular, a call-in session like this, if you guys want to, just to see how people are doing. And even if we ever end the lockdown nonsense and I travel again and get back to Africa and Europe, I'll do it remotely, and we'll see how it goes. And we can talk about events. So I think that's kind of a cool idea. That's the nice part about this. At least till we get deplatformed, and YouTube goes away at Twitter, and then we have to do something else. Anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of this. And those of you who are still watching in the stream, more people have come back. We dropped off. Half the participants right now are in this conversation. The other half are watching it in the stream, and they're not seeing anything. So I guess they're just using it as like a podcast in background. Thank you so much for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. My thanks to all of my guests tonight. Let's see, we've got Sean, Gareth, Keith, Anthony, Gus, Rico Suave, also known as Wilhelm, or FW de Klerk. I'm not sure which one he is. And then Tom is on there. Karen is on there, or Karen, as we say in America. There's your kind of covering your identity. It's Karen, not Karen. And then the guy from Star Trek, The Next Generation, who's hanging out on Rigel 6. Thank you all so much. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless and have a pleasant morning or evening in South Africa and around the world. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow on Stray Voltage. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
What, sir?
Yes.
All right, folks, let me get my camera back on here. For those of you still there. Oops, that's not it. I need to turn it back on. Oh, this thing is still running. I can hear it still running in the background. Let me close this thing. Why is it not shutting down? My Zoom is not shutting down. That's another thing I wanted to learn from this. It's still on. I don't know why it's on. Let me, that's really weird. I can hear, hang on.
Yep, I'm trying to leave, but
I'm on mute. All right. Sorry about that. Thanks to all my guests who tuned in. Thank you all for being part of it, for helping me test the session. I'll get it sorted out so that it appears in the stream so you see something here. My apologies for that. But Anthony, thank you so much for the super chat. My thanks to Mahatma Gandhi, who is located in Stellenbosch, who called in pretending to be a young man attending IT school. But thank you, Mahatma. We really appreciate you being part of the conversation. But seriously, no, it was really great for folks to tune in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. For everything. Excuse me. Like I said, for those who were listening, this was kind of cool. If I can just sort it out in Streamlabs, and I will because I have the general coming up on Saturday, and I don't want to disappoint there. And also, I'm going to have the land discussion going on. I'd like to do this for the land discussion on Thursday, land and poverty in South Africa. So I'll sort this out between now and then. Sean has sent me a screen capture, which hopefully will get my settings correct in YouTube, and we'll go from there. I'll do a test tomorrow just to make sure it's working. Anthony, again, thanks so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. And also, I missed Get You Online. Lynn became a member. She did that at the end of the stream for the last one I had on earlier, the Stray Voltage. So thank you so much for becoming a member, Lynn. I'll point that out again tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll do Stray Voltage. So until then, I want to thank you. God bless. No Giselle on the way out. This was just a test session. So thanks for being part of the test session. Everybody be safe out there. And also thank you so much for the kind compliments. I really appreciate it. And also to the gentleman who's in the Andromeda Galaxy on Rigel 6. Good point about personal security and the internet. And that goes across the board, ladies and gentlemen. You should be very circumspect about which apps you use on your mobile phone when I'm talking about like banking and things like that, brokerages. Got to be careful about that. Nothing is unbreakable. Everything can be broken into. It's just a question of how much someone has in the way of resources and how intent they are getting into it. So there you go. Hendrik, thanks a lot for the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Anyway, so there you go. Sean. Okay. All right, folks, going to close out right there at almost 2 hours in the test session, which I was only going to do for about a half hour or so, but the conversation was really cool. It was great, everybody tuning in and contributing to it. I really, truly enjoyed it, but it is now approaching 2000, as we say here in the military. Tom knows what I'm talking about. 2000 here on the East Coast, and I have yet to eat, so I'm going to go get something to eat. So anyway, thanks. Sean says, thanks for scaring us. Yeah, Sean, but there aren't many of us here, so not many people get the scary message. Anyway, Gareth, he says, thanks. You're most welcome. Zoom is zooming. Yes, it is. Almost. Anyway, God bless. Be safe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow on Stray Voltage. In the meantime, I'll probably do a prepared video about Musi Maimane's comments in an op-ed that appeared in News 24, among other places, a few days ago. I've been holding off, but I'll probably do a prepared video on that. So have a pleasant evening. God bless. We'll catch you next time on Stray Voltage, or the test. They'll come before that tomorrow.